Hello, Rinpoche. You're spotlighted now, if you'd like to say something.
Okay, I was told that somebody is going to translate this. Is this true?
Yeah, Rinpoche, yeah. I'm here.
Okay. Anyway, first, Happy New Year. And
首先跟大家说新年快乐。
I hope this 2020, the end of the 2020 will end a lot of challenges that we have been having, at least some of it.
我希望随着2020年的终结，它也能够终止我们一直在面对的许多挑战，至少是部分的挑战。
Well, to say the least, the 2020 has been is going to stay in our head for a long time.
至少呢，2020这一年呢，会在我们的脑海中停留非常长的时间。
I hope it has brought some worthy experience. I don't know, I hope it has made us learn few things.
我希望呢，它也带给了我们一些有价值的经验，希望它至少让我们学到了一些事情。
Well, as a very fragile and condition-bound human being, one can only hope and pray that the new year will bring us some light and peace and prosperity and harmony.
那作为一个非常脆弱、非常受到各种条约制约的人类呢，我们只能希望说，新的一年能够为我们带来更多的光明、富足和和平、和谐。
We are quite blessed because I think we at least have the information of how to make ourselves happy and how to look for something beneficial.
我想我们事实上在这边的人都是非常受到加持的，因为至少我们知道怎么样去寻找资讯，让自己能够拥有快乐，以及让自己能够变得找到更有利益的事情。
And in fact, this gathering, the people who are gathered here are people who really share common ground, common values, and common aspiration.
因为在我们这边一起聚集的这些人呢，至少我们都分享着共通的一些基础，共通的一些价值观。
Our gathering here is called on His Lotus.
我们这次的集会被称作端坐于莲花上。
And lotus is such a important symbol in Buddhism, as you all know.
而正如同大家所知道的，在佛教中，莲花是一个非常重要的象征符号。
It symbolizes the compassion, the purity, and most importantly, it symbolizes the basic goodness of human being.
它象征着慈悲，象征着清净，最重要的是，它象征着人类的基本的善。
And this basic goodness of human being is something that we don't have to acquire or download or buy. We just have it, and this is we are so. It's a power. It's an ability. It is an incredible quality that we have. We always have.
它是一个我们不需要去取得、去下载、去购买的一个东西。我们大家都有这个人类的本初善，它是我们具有的一个能力、一个力量，它是一个我们具有的一个不可思议的功德，是我们大家都有的，是我们一直都拥有的。
We are all very capable of being kind, capable of being sane, capable of being sober, not just ourselves, but we are capable of making others also kind and sane and sober.
我们大家都具有这样的能力，可以让自己变得慈善，让自己变得清醒，明智，具有理智。而且不只是我们具有自己这样做的能力，我们也有能力让别人也同样的变得慈善、清醒、理智。
But for some reason, for a very obvious reason, the reasons of being caught up and being entangled with all sorts of endeavor, the hope and the fear, and we somehow just end up forgetting this ability that we have.
但是很显然的，由于我们非常的受制于，就是非常的深陷于我们很多的各种努力计划，然后受到我们各种期待和恐惧、忧虑的影响，以至于我们忘记了我们自己拥有这样的能力。
This ability is so near. It's like more than near, but yet we made it far.
这个能力事实上是非常的跟我们接近的。事实上，它远远不只是接近，只是我们把它是我们自己把它弄得很远。
The platform that have organized this event, or the sort of the activities that are organized by different platforms today here, they are all one way or another geared towards discovering this ability.
那组织这一次活动的各个不同的平台呢，事实上都是以各种不同的方式，试图去重新的找到这样的能力。
You know, it's not as if the others didn't try. They are trying. The others are trying.
并不是说其他人也没有试图这么做，其他人也在试图找到这些能力。
From a small, you know, thing such as a vacuum machine, all the way to men going to the moon, it's all supposedly to really, you know, obtain, you know, to get some sort of a, you know, ultimate satisfaction.
从非常小的事情，像是发明吸尘器，一直到人类去登陆月球，这些全都是各式各样的努力，让我们获得某种就近的满足感。
And they will go on doing it. And here I'm not saying that they are not achieving anything. Yeah, they're achieving a lot.
然后他们也会一直的试图去做这样的事情，去寻找这样的能力，这样就近的满足感。但是我这边并不是说他们并没有成就任何的事情，事实上他们已经获得了很大的进展了。
Fact that we are able to talk like this, even though we are everywhere in different parts of the world, that is that's so great. That's such a good thing, right?
但是说我们今天身处于世界各地，却能够以这样的方式交谈，这就是非常棒的一件事情。
But in this process, there's no good reason to sort of forget or shun other methods that can bring us temporal and lasting satisfaction.
但是在这样的过程当中，也并没有什么很好的原因说我们就应该要忘记，我们就应该要去除其他能够让我们获得暂时以及就近满足感的方法。
Probably we have been kind of what do you call it? Too coward, or maybe conservative, or not too creative in sort of fishing this ability out so far.
那或许可以说，就是至今呢，我们还没有足够的勇气，我们可能过于保守，不够有创意，来就是取出我们这个固有的能力。
But this is where, especially, you know, our recent Bhumisparsha activities, such kind of activities hopefully will become at least on the most sort of fundamental level, a reminder to ourselves that we have this basic sanity in ourselves without needing to look anywhere.
所以这正是为什么就是有些活动，像是我们最近开展的这个触地计划，正是希望藉由这样的活动，至少能够在最根本的层面上帮助我们提醒自己，我们具有这个基本的明智、基本的理智，这是我们已经拥有，我们不需要去外寻的。
Besides this, we also have other engagements such as Kumarajiva, such as 8,000, and all these I definitely believe makes difference.
那除了这个触地计划之外，我们还有其他的一些项目，像是圆满法藏计划、84000佛典翻译，这些我相信一定都会对我们寻得这样子的能力、这样的理智起到帮助。
So I ask every one of you here. First of all, I'd like to actually offer my gratitude and appreciation for all of your participation.
那首先我要跟大家献上我的感激以及欣赏，大家都参与了这次的活动。
And your contribution, quite really an amazing contribution.
我也非常感谢各位的各种贡献，真的是非常令人赞叹的贡献。
In every level, creativity, ideas, time, energy, I don't know, sleep, so much of it.
那从各个层面上，大家都就是做出了很大贡献，不只是像是创意上的，大家投注的时间、精力，甚至是可能包括你的睡眠，真的大家都付出了很多。
So I offer my gratitude to everyone, but I also like to implore everyone to, especially in this day and age, especially now, to increase your enthusiasm even more than before.
所以我要感谢大家做付出的一切。那同时我也要请求大家，尤其是在今天现在这个时代，更是要增长大家的热忱，大家的热情。
The bodhisattvas, they become more active, more brave, more creative, more courageous as the dark force looms bigger.
大家要知道，当菩萨们他们面临黑暗势力增长的时候，他们反而会变得更为积极、更为勇敢、更为无畏、更有创意性。
So consider yourself as a such warrior that are here to really rescue this basic goodness of human being that we have.
所以呢，大家应该要自认为我们正是这样子的勇士。我们在此呢，是为了要将人类的这个本初善呢拯救出来，而这正是我们本来就已经拥有的东西。
And then I also want to thank for organizers for organizing this event.
然后我也要感谢组织方组织了这次的活动。
I know many of them, they have really spent so much time and energy.
我知道他们很多人真的花了很大的时间和精力在这次的组织上面。
And some of you may know that Bhumisparsha is going to continue.
那你们有些人可能知道，触地计划是会一直持续下去的。
Although we have achieved what we have originally aimed for, but because of the overwhelming response, we have the joy to continue this.
虽然说我们已经达成了我们原本启动这个计划的目标，但是因为我们获得了就是排山倒海大家的热烈回应，所以我们很欢喜的将会继续持续这个计划。
Just to give you some, ideas that's occurring in my head, Bhumisparsha, like we will be doing things like planting trees, organizing film festivals, organizing parties, rave parties. These are just some thoughts, but here there are so many young, enthusiastic, creative, bold people. Please, you have to give us guidance, opinion, and please do brainstorming.
那就跟大家讲讲我脑海当中已经有的一些可能的想法，比如说我们事实上已经 在着手计划的就是要种树，我们可以组织电影节，可以举办 party， 甚至是那种电音派对，这只是我的一些想法。当然在这边有非常多的年轻热情又充满创造力又非常勇敢的年轻人在这里，所以请大家也继续的给我们各种的意见，提供你们的想法，然后你们可以多做一些脑力激荡。
Well, that's all for today, and Happy New Year. Please have a lot of fun.
所以我今天要讲的就是这些。那祝大家新年快乐，请大家继续的就是玩得开心。
Welcome to On His Lotus Seat, a celebration for the Buddha. My name is Rinchen and this is Liana. Thank you so much for being here.
欢迎大家来到坐于莲花上，一场为佛陀而举行的庆典。英文主持人是 Rinchen， 我叫 Liana， 非常非常欢迎大家的到来。
We want to start the event by saying the aspiration prayer together, which you just heard in Sanskrit in our introduction, Body of Light. We'll recite first in English and then in Chinese.
我们希望和各位一起念诵祈愿文来开始今天的活动。刚刚大家在我们的开场视频里已经听到过梵文的版本，现在我们会先用英语，再用中文念诵。
May all beings be happy and have the cause of happiness. May they be free of suffering and the cause of suffering. May they never be parted from happiness without suffering. May they dwell in equanimity without attachment and hatred to those near and far.
愿一切有情具足乐极乐因，愿一切有情远离苦集苦因，愿一切有情不离无苦妙乐，愿一切有情永离爱憎亲疏，住平等舍。
We're so excited to be here together on New Year's Day to celebrate the Buddha. First, we have for you some lovely musical performances, and then a special video that Bhumisparsha prepared for today.
我们非常开心在元旦这一天跟大家一起参加这场意念供养佛陀的庆典。首先我们有一系列的精彩的音乐演出，然后将会播放触地团队专门为这次活动准备的短片。
And then we will recite the sūtra, taking refuge in the three jewels, translated by 84,000 and the Kumarajiva Project, accompanied by an original musical composition and a gorgeous video.
之后，我们将一起念诵《圣三皈依大乘经》，经文是由84000和圆满法藏翻译的，还会有原创音乐和视频做伴奏。
And lastly, we will end with a quiet cinematic experience inspired by the Buddha's enlightenment.
最后，我们将以一段静谧又充满启发性的微电影结尾。这个视频讲述的是佛陀证悟的故事。
And the chats on Zoom and YouTube will be open for engagement during the event.
整个活动期间 ，Zoom 聊天室将开放，供大家实时参与互动。
Without further ado, we present Druksal Dorji from Bhutan performing Cool Water.
事不宜迟，我们有请来自不丹的 Druksal Dorji 为大家带来第一个音乐演出《清凉的水》。
Whole day I faced the barren waste without the taste of water, cool water. Old Dan and I, with throats burned dry, and souls that cry for water, cool, clean water. water. Keep on moving, Dan, don't you listen to him, Dan. He's a devil, not a man. He spreads the burning sand with water. Dan, can't you see the big green tree where the water's running free? It's waiting there for you and me. Dan's feet are sore, he's yearning for just one thing more than water, cool water. Like me, I guess you'd like to rest where there's no quest for water. Cool, clear water. Keep on moving, Dan, don't you listen to him, Dan. He's a devil, not a man. He spreads the burning sand with water. Dan, can't you see the big green tree where the water's running free? It's waiting there for you and me. Water's running free, it's waiting there for you and me.
That was Renico and Elijah Kai from Los Angeles performing Happy New Year.
刚刚我们欣赏的是由来自美国洛杉矶的 Rennie Go 和 Elijah Kai 演出的新年快乐。
Now, here is a message of praise to Shakyamuni Buddha by Weni Yuliani from Medan, Indonesia.
现在跟大家分享的是由来自印度尼西亚的 Weni Yuliani 带来的赞颂佛陀的赞词。
Karena ajarannya yang benar-benar luar biasa, Buddha menunjukkan kebenaran, mengajarkan ketenangan batin, menunjukkan jalan untuk mengubah penderitaan, dan mewujudkan kedamaian serta kebahagiaan sejati.
Weni said, because his teachings are truly extraordinary, Buddha uncovered the truth, taught equanimity, showed me the path to transform suffering, and realize true peace and happiness.
Weni 说，因为他的教法非同一般，佛陀揭晓了实相，教导了平等心，为我展示了超越痛苦及了悟真正安宁与快乐的道路。
Thank you, Weni. Indonesian sounds lovely.
谢谢 Weni， 印尼语真动听。
Next, we have Ajian from Delhi, Yunnan, performing Shakyamuni Mantra.
接下来，请欣赏来自中国云南大理的阿坚带来释迦牟尼佛心咒。
Oh
Thank you for your beautiful offering, Ajian. That was so soothing.
感谢阿坚美妙的供养，多么舒心的演奏啊！
Next, a message on Shakyamuni Buddha by Kathleen Sringchodron from Kyogo, Australia.
接下来分享另外一则释迦牟尼佛赞，由来自澳大利亚 Kyogle 的 Kathleen Sringchodron 带来。
What I think's amazing about Shakyamuni Buddha is that he discovered the truth of how you and I exist, the truth of the real nature of everything in and beyond this world. Shakyamuni Buddha didn't just keep this realization to himself, but set forth methods for anyone to be able to realize this truth, so that people like you and I can experience real peace and real happiness, so rare to find in this world.
Kathleen 说，我认为释迦牟尼佛最神奇的地方是他发现了关于你我存在的真相，关于世间万物真实本性的真理。释迦牟尼佛没有将这份证悟私藏，而是向所有人传授了了悟真理的方法，以便诸如你我之辈也能体验到世间极难找到的真正的安宁与快乐。
Thank you, Kathleen. That was so beautiful. As we know from our diverse audience here today, the light of the Buddha has spread all across the world.
谢谢 Kathleen， 非常动人。正如今天在座的各位来自五湖四海，佛陀的光芒已遍布世界各地。
Bhumisparsha, touching the earth, is a gathering of people from far and wide who have been touched by this light.
触地计划聚集了来自世界各地被这束光芒碰到的人。
One goal we had was to collect 100 million recitations of the Shakyamuni mantra, and thanks to all of your amazing participation, we were able to achieve that in just 7 weeks. Today, we would like to announce that from July 24th, 2020 to January 1st, 2021, Bhumisparsha has collected 587,381,357 recitations in total.
触地计划定下的目标之一是持诵1亿遍释迦牟尼佛心咒。感谢各位的不可思议的踊跃参与，让我们能够在仅仅7周内就达成了这个目标。今天我们非常荣幸地宣布，2020年7月24日至今天2021年1月1日，触地计划已累计圆满持诵58738万1357遍释迦牟尼佛心咒。
Thank you all so much for your accumulations. We surely have benefited and will continue to benefit all sentient beings.
非常感谢大家的积极参与与极具创造力的供养，他们一定已经并且还会持续利益一切有情众生。
And how can we forget the beautiful creative offerings by our friends all over the world? Our next video presents how, over 5 months, admirers of Shakyamuni came together and shared stories, art, music, and other offerings in honor of this man who embodies wisdom, love, and compassion.
我们怎能忘记来自世界各地朋友们所带来的精彩创意供养呢？接下来的视频将为大家呈现，在过去5个月里，全世界的释迦牟尼佛追随者是如何聚集在一起，分享他们的故事、艺术创作和供养佛陀的作品。
Also, see if you can find 2 fun references to Star Wars in the video. When you spot them, tell us what you think they are in our chats.
另外，来看看你能不能在这个视频里找到2个和星球大战有关的看点。如果你发现了，就在我们的聊天室里面告诉我们吧。星球大战。
for the resilience, strength, and peace of mind.
Shakyamuni, so high, Om Muni Muni,
Om Muni Muni Mahamuni Shakyamuni Swaha. Deta Om Muni Muni Mahamuni Shakyamuni Swaha. Deta Om Muni Muni Mahamuni Shakyamuni Swaha.
Mahamunaye Soha. Mune Mune Mahamunaye Soha. Mune Mune
So, what is Bhumisparsha? Well, symbolically, Bhumisparsha is a gesture that Buddha, Shakyamuni have performed. But this mind that you have is the base, and that this is the base you have lost, touch. This is something that we cannot afford to lose, the sanity. This sanity is all-pervasive, actually. This activity of Bhumisparsha, from A to Z, effort of young people, it is very encouraging that these young people will preserve, nurture, and propagate the sanity. Actually, this is another meaning of Bhumisparsha. You know, I was telling you, touching the base, touching the ground, down to earth. Remember? I think the English expression down to earth has this, sort of connotation of not altered, raw, not altered, not, made up, as it is, basically. And the mind you have, as I'm repeating here, you have a mind. You are looking at me right now. You are listening to me right now. Who is doing this? This is your mind. Yeah, and this mind, this naked, raw mind is what you need to touch. So today, I want you to understand this and understand the touch the base or the touch the earth in the most fundamental level. It's really, it's actually to have relationship with oneself. It's to really make friends with oneself. To be not harsh towards self. To be not hard on ourselves. To not make enemy with oneself. And also to hate, to not hate oneself. Now these are something that we human beings don't do. We forget to do these things. Now when I say touch, there's something so nice about the word touch. It's basically like this, isn't it? It's like this.
Were you able to spot the Star Wars reference in the video? We hope all of you enjoyed the video as much as we did receiving all of these lovely offerings. Now we'll move on to the next part of the event.
你有找到和星球大战有关的看点了吗？视频期间有一点点模糊，可以回去看回放。就像我们满心欢喜的收到精彩供养一样，希望大家也有喜欢这个视频。我们现在进入活动的下一个环节。
It is said that reading the words of the Buddha aloud will benefit oneself and all those who can hear them. So, on this New Year's Day, let us join together and recite the Sutra, taking refuge in the three jewels translated by 84,000 and the Kumarajiva Project.
据说大声念诵佛陀的话语将会利益自己和所有听到这些声音的众生。所以在新年的第一天，让我们大家一起齐心念诵经文《圣三皈依大乘经》，译文来自84000和圆满法藏。
观秋sunna cha cha lo，
圣三皈依大乘经定第三行。
Amen. 작순조와 세자와 태와 진빈도 없소
We dedicate the sūtra recitation to the happiness and enlightenment of all sentient beings.
我们将念诵经文的功德回向给一切有情众生的究竟快乐和圆满觉悟。
And we also dedicate this event on His Lotus Seat to the happiness and enlightenment of all sentient beings.
我们也将这次活动坐于莲花上的功德回向给一切有情众生的究竟快乐和圆满觉悟。
We will now begin the last portion of our program and end our time together with a beautiful cinematic piece inspired by the drama of Buddha's enlightenment. But before we do, we'd like to make a few more announcements.
我们将要分享这次庆典的压轴节目了，由一段由佛陀的证悟所启发创作的精美微电影。但在这之前，让我们再多说几句。
Please visit 84,000 and the Kumarajiva Project websites to engage more Dharma.
想要获得更多佛法资讯，请一定记得访问84000和圆满法藏的网站。
Explore 84,000's online reading room. It is a wonderful way to discover the sutras, and 84,000 would love to support creative projects inspired by these texts.
请大家体验84000的云端藏经阁，这是一个非常棒的探索佛经的方便法门。84000也期待支持更多受这些经文启发的创意计划。
From Bhumisparsha, please stay creative and continue to touch the earth, and keep an eye out for more Bhumisparsha in 2021.
通过触地这个计划，希望各位保持创意满满，并持续触碰大地。2021年，请继续关注更多触地方面的讯息。
And of course, we wish you a very happy new year. Without further ado, our final presentation, The Perfect Awakening.
当然，我们也祝大家元旦快乐，新年吉祥。事不宜迟，有请我们的压轴节目《无上正等正觉》。
There's a sutra known as the Play in Full that tells the story of how the Buddha Shakyamuni manifested in this world and how he attained awakening. Over 27 chapters, the sutra first presents the events surrounding the Buddha's birth, his childhood, and his adolescence in the royal palace of his father, king of the Shakya nation. It then recounts his secret escape from the palace and the years of hardship he faced in his quest for spiritual awakening. Finally, the sutra reveals his complete victory over the demon Mara, his attainment of awakening under the Bodhi tree, his first turning of the wheel of Dharma, and the formation of the very early Sangha. The following excerpts are abridged from chapters 21 and 22, Conquering Mara and Perfect and Complete Awakening.
When the Bodhisattva bathed in the Naranjana river and enjoyed a meal, his physical strength came back to him, and he now began to walk towards the great Bodhi tree. As the Bodhisattva walks towards the seat of awakening, rays of light stream forth from his body, pacifying the lower realms and causing all unfortunate states to cease. All beings with impaired faculties recover their senses. Anyone who suffers from disease is healed. Anyone feeling discomfort attains happiness. All who are struck with fear find release. At that moment, all sentient beings are relieved of harms inflicted by attachment, anger, ignorance, wrath, greed, cruelty, ill will, envy, and jealousy. At that moment, no one experiences dying, moving to the next life, and taking birth. At that moment, everyone engenders love, altruism, and a feeling that all beings are each other's mothers and fathers. Nevertheless, knowing he must also satisfy the intellect of those who lack dedication, the Bodhisattva picks up a bundle of grass on which to sit, and he sits down like a lion, like a hero, in a powerful, steady, diligent way. And meanwhile, Mara awakens from a dream filled with omens as to what may happen to him and his entourage should the Bodhisattva awaken. And he is so terrified that he gathers his armies, his retinue, his generals, and his gatekeepers and implores them to advance to destroy the monk seated at the king of trees. Awful forms of demonesses, flesh-eaters, and hungry spirits, one-eyed, limping, with hunger in their eyes, run towards the Bodhisattva with outstretched hands, distorted faces, and terrifying cries. Such an army of demons stretch 80 leagues on every side. Unmoved, the Bodhisattva embraces Mara and his demonic retinue with thoughts of love and compassion. Like a lion, he sits without fear, fright, anxiety, timidity, and disturbance. Touching his hand to this great earth, it shakes. Now Mara feels unhappy and full of suffering. And even though he is miserable and ashamed of himself, he is so overpowered by pride to such an extent that he cannot leave. He cannot turn back and flee. Instead, he rallies his men on further and sends his daughters to seduce the Bodhisattva. But the daughters return defeated, and Mara feels even more miserable, unhappy, angry, and disappointed. He is more determined than ever to get him away from the seat of awakening. And although the gods who attended upon the Bodhisattva tried to discourage Mara, he is not deterred.
I am Lord of Desires and Master of the Universe. I rule over gods, demigods, humans, and animals. All of them fall under my control. So, get up. Since you're in my realm, follow my orders.
If you are master of sense pleasures, you are clearly not a master at all. Look who I am in reality. I am a master of the Dharma. If you are a master of sense pleasures, you should not go to the lower realms. While you watch powerlessly, I shall attain awakening. With a mind possessed by anger and full of desire for the divine realms, and a belief that the self is either permanent or impermanent, and the thought that liberation is a place you can go to. With such mistaken preconceptions, past sages practiced austerities. Not knowing the truth, they preached the existence of a soul, variously claiming that this soul is all-pervasive, confined to locations, eternal, with form, without form, with qualities, without qualities, an agent and not an agent. This is what they claimed. But today, sitting here on this seat, I will attain stainless awakening. I will defeat you, Mara, and repel your enemy and soldiers. I will explain to the world about the origin and arising of things, and also about Nirvana, the cool state where suffering is pacified.
Catch that Gautama who sits alone in the wilderness and bring him quickly to me. Take him to my palace, shackle, fetter, and yoke him, and make him my gatekeeper. I will watch him suffer and cry out uncontrollably in many different ways, a slave of the gods.
It is possible that someone can make drawings in the empty sky, or catch the blowing wind with a lasso, or make the bright sun and moon fall from the sky to the earth. Yet you, or countless beings like you, will never force me away from this tree.
Powerful army of Mara rushes forward with wild cries and beating drums, and yet the Bodhisattva remained still.
No one can harm me here beneath this tree. Not even someone who can destroy the trichiliocosm and count its motes of dust. Not even someone who can draw all the water in the oceans through a single straw. Not even someone who can split the supreme diamond mountain in a single instant.
Mara raises his sword and threatens to cut the Bodhisattva away like a bamboo twig, and his armies hurl erupting volcanoes at him, as well as trees with their roots, and copper and iron. They rain down iron balls and bolts of lightning, and swords and poisoned arrows shatter the earth's surface. They attack him from all sides, and yet he witnesses this army of demons. This pure being understands that they are like an illusion.
There is no Mara here, no army, no being, and also no self. Like the moon reflected in a pond, so does this threefold universe revolve. There is no I, no man, no woman, and no self. There is no ear, no nose, no tongue, and no body. No one created these phenomena, and no one experiences them. They arise in dependency and are empty both from within and without.
As he proclaimed the truth that all phenomena are empty, the Yakyas, who are agreeable to discipline, perceive the weapons in their hands to be flower garlands.
This earth is my witness. In the past, I have made millions of elaborate sacrifices and never denied those who petitioned me. Water and fire and wind are my witnesses, and so are Brahma, the Lord of beings, the moon, the sun and the stars. The Buddhas in the 10 directions are my witnesses. My discipline, practice, and the superior branches of awakening are all my witnesses. Generosity, discipline, and patience are my witnesses. Diligence, concentration, and knowledge, the 4 limitless contemplations, and the 5 higher knowledges are my witnesses. In fact, all the gradual practices of awakening are my witnesses.
The gods proclaim.
At this supreme seat, you have conquered with love the wicked army of demons. Hero, today you shall attain awakening. The 10 powers, the unique qualities, the distinct realizations, and the experiences of a Buddha you shall attain today. An adept among beings, a lotus on the lake of wisdom has appeared. Untainted by mundane concerns, he will cause a cloud of great compassion to mass, which will shower throughout the realm of phenomena. The gentle rain of Dharma, medicine to living beings, will cause all the seeds of the roots of virtue to sprout, bring growth to the saplings of faith, and yield the fruits of liberation.
After his enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, the Buddha began to teach the Dharma, and did so for the next 45 years.
Bhavan